Luton come onto the DBL pitch. Luton in their change strip of all orange. Confidence high in the Preston ranks, as well it might. Recent nominations for Players of the Month, Manager of the Month, speaking volumes really for this superb start to the new season. We get proceedings underway immediately. The ball knocked down that left flank and then down towards the touchline. A foot in, but Luton with an opportunity almost straight away here. A foot in, just takes it away in the end on that far side. The goal kick launched forward in his changed all-grey kit. Through the centre it goes. Nugent with a good flick on. Agyemang can't get there, and it's headed away by Foley, but straight to Sedgwick, and then McKenna picks up possession, plays it wide. Difficult for Hill, who's got to run back to recover the ball. Plays a good ball forward, looking for Sedgwick's run. Good ball into the centre as well. There's Nugent arriving. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Denied by the woodwork. Nugent, who managed to turn it towards target. It was a difficult take. Ball back into the centre. Another chance here for Preston. If either Pugh or Sedgwick can get on the end, it comes back out to McKenna, and he hits it over the crossbar, but denied by the woodwork there. David Nugent looking for his 5th goal of the season. It was a good ball into the centre, just slightly behind the Preston striker, who managed to turn it on target, but there was no power involved, and it just ballooned into the air and then off the woodwork. Heikkinen's in there, Barnett's in there. It's Nash though who comes out to play.
This is where we need to break over. Simon's out there, Pep's out there running around, and now Kenna's there.
Nash does release eventually, gets it out wide to McKenna. Ball in towards the centre, laid off by Nugent, looking for Pugh. Pugh manages to turn. I thought he'd been a little bit too clever at first from Nugent to Pugh, but Preston still have it. Ball into the centre, Nugent's in now, and it's just beyond him, and it's headed behind by Foley, and that is going to be a corner to Preston. It's a good ball into the centre, just beyond David Nugent. Plenty of white shirts in the middle. It is in towards the middle, and Agyemang, and just manages to go past the far post. Somehow he headed it. I'm not sure he knew which way the ball had gone. Certainly the crowd didn't. Into the ground, and organising just wide of that far post. And at the moment, Danny, it just won't go right for Preston.
No, that's a big chance for us. I don't think Pat knew a lot about it.
Now Nugent can get round the back. A slip by Barnett has let Nugent in. He tumbles down, and no mistake this time. And will Beresford leave the pitch? Yes, he will. Beresford is dismissed. Preston have a penalty. And, well, that's how quickly games can change. David Nugent is let in by a slip from Barnett. And racing through, he's brought to the ground by Marlon Beresford. Retreats to the edge of the area. Mr. Webster is satisfied things can get back underway. Preston have a penalty. Graham Alexander steps up and sticks it into the back of the net. His 2nd penalty of the season, his 2nd goal of the season. Preston have put distance between themselves and Luton, and they now face the remainder of this game, a full 39 minutes, playing 10 men of Luton, and they're 1-0 to the good as well. Preston 1, Luton 0. That's his 100th career goal as well for skipper Graham Alexander, so he reaches a real milestone. As Brill can't keep that ball in play, diving to his left-hand side. It was a 4-headed ball back to him, put him in trouble, and it is going to be a Preston corner. Pugh will swing it in on the front post. Simon Whaley, the back post, Patrick Agyemang. Nugent's in the box, but it'll be the big centre-backs they're looking for. It is in towards the middle, and Agyemang! Into the back of the net it goes! It's his 5th goal of the season, and given that this is only his 6th start, that is quite a record for the Preston striker. Preston 2, Luton Town 0, and, well, I thought they were going to go for the big centre-backs, but it was quickly into the front post, and there was Agyemang, Danny.
Yeah, we worked on that corner during training where we try and pull our big guys out to the far post as a bit of a decoy, and Pugh tries to hit the near post, Simon Whaley, and we had kind of a corner first half where Pat missed it with a header, but he's managed to get on that and put a great volley in the top corner there.
And now McKenna plays the ball out wide to Alexander. Alexander to Whaley, waiting patiently on the byline. He tries to cut in. He's giving Peter Holmes a torrid time down this right side at the moment. Growing in confidence, Whaley lays it off. Alexander's there. Agyemang helps it on. Sedgwick's onside. Can he pull it back? He does do. Brill just manages to knock the ball behind, and Brill appealing to the assistant referee for the offside. Ball in towards the centre, and there's Agyemang again, but this time headed just over Preston. Could be 3 up. And I think Nugent has just got a knock. I think possibly just studs on his boot. And word, of course, for Nugent, who won that penalty. It was great pace to get between the defenders and one-on-one with the keeper. He was the man who was brought down in the area for that penalty, and of course the resulting sending off. It was a slip essentially by the defender Barnett that let him in the end. But he made full effect of that as the ball is played over the top. He finds Nugent again using his pace, pulls it back into the path of Pugh. He just puts it wide on the far side, and he's left prone on the floor, wondering how he missed that opportunity. But that was great play, and again it was Nugent's pace that just opened up a bit of space.
Great move again, great cross-field pass from Graham. Nuge pulled on his defender, great little header into his path, and then a short pass into Pugh, who normally puts them away, but it was on his right foot, didn't manage to hit the target.
Looks it in towards the edge of the area, and there's Sedgwick looking for some consolation after missing out that penalty. His ball into the centre, takes a deflection from the keeper, hits Ormerod and ends up in the back of the net, and now it's 3-0 to Preston North End. Ormerod, Johnny on the spot to make it 3-0, and Sedgwick's curling ball in was not really dealt with in the fashion that Dean Brill would have wanted Danny Dichio.
Fantastic, because I'm delighted for Brett. As I said, he's been working really hard in training this week. He's been looking really sharp, and that's what we've got Brett here for. He is a Johnny in the box. He is a sniffer around the goal area, and them little bits and pieces that come off the keeper, he's there for putting them in.
On the right hand side it goes. Alexander into the feet of Neil. The youngster with a left-footed effort, charge down. He wins the ball back as well, almost. Sliding in for it. And there is the final whistle from Colin Webster, and we've seen another good home victory for Preston North End. The goals coming, as we said, from Alexander from the spot. His 100th career goal coming against his former club. And then the second goal from Patrick Agyemang. All 3 goals in the second half. He tapped it home on the front post into the roof of the net. The third goal from Brett Ormerod, the substitute. Good low shot in towards the far post that was parried from Sedgwick by Dean Brill. And there was Brett Ormerod to tap the ball home and make it 3-0. First half wasn't terribly convincing. In the second half, the difference between the two sides showed. It's finished here. Preston 3, Luton 0.
Paul, another 3 points, another 3 scorers. You must be a happy man.
Yeah, delighted. It was a tough game today. We expected it. Credit to Luton, the way they went about it first half. They made it very, very difficult. And I don't think we started the game quite right. You know, I think it's always difficult when you've had a performance and a result like we had on Tuesday. I think there's always a feeling, and the players and maybe the fans were a little bit guilty of it, turning up today and thinking it was just going to happen for us. Half time, we managed to get in there and just regroup a little bit, and fortunately it was still 0-0. And the second half, I thought we thoroughly deserved to win the game as comfortably as we did.
How good is it to have all the strikers in such great form at the moment?
It's nice. It's you know, like I say, it's obviously a good problem for the gaffer to have when everyone's playing so well. And you know, but it's pushing the lads on. Everyone's pushing each other on, and it can only be good for Preston.
Danny Dichio missing today. Patrick comes in, scores. You come on, score. Danny Dichio back next week. And like you say, it's a massive headache for the manager, but you couldn't ask for a better one.
Definitely not. I think every manager, it's the nicest dilemma you can have in football management, I think. And like I say, whoever's coming in, he's coming in and doing well and earning the place. So yeah, it's tough. But like I said, everyone's pushing each other on, and we've still a few injuries to come back, and hopefully that can push us further up the table.
I thought Pat's worked his socks off today. He was really unfortunate last kick of the first half when he's just had a reaction header and it's gone wide. He was unfortunate with another one that's gone over the bar, but it's a great finish. He's pulled off the goalkeeper and he's got a good side foot onto it. But again, Patrick showed the qualities that he's got, and it is a great problem to have with Brett still scoring goals, Patrick getting in on the act again, Deitch in form. Maybe David Nugent might have to be dropped.